Hi, welcome to Gemstone Tarot, Monday the 10th? Monday the 10th? Yeah, Monday the 10th. Monday the 10th of August, 2026. Over the weekend, I drove the boy to a nightclub with his friend. He got changed in the car while we were driving as well. That was something. He was quite drunk. And it was just... I don't know if you ever get that. You kind of forget, don't you, when you're a bit of an oldie. You forget, because there was all this sort of young people were out and they were all heading for this sort of same nightclub, and, you know, everyone's like having a laugh. People have got a kebab. And I don't often do this because my memory isn't brilliant. And I'm a little bit like, today, goldfish. Today, goldfish. But I really remembered, and maybe I'm just seeing it with rose-coloured glasses, but let me know, stumbling about back then in the day with your friends, you know, going to a nightclub, or, you know, getting lost out of a nightclub, or whatever kind of adventure you were up to that night. So yeah, I did. I dropped him and his friend off for their adventure. It was around midnight. Also, they were just starting at midnight. Dropped him and his friend off, and then I was came home and had to read something, I don't know what it was, and then sort of reached for my reading glasses and was just like, ooh. I just had a feeling. I don't know what that feeling is. Could be nostalgia. Could be nostalgia. This isn't the right deck. I was going to use this, but I'm not using this. It's not the right one. I'm going to use me Enchanted Shores one. That's what I'm going to use. Yeah. Anybody else having that? I don't know what that's about. I know that there were probably nights when it was really boring and all the rest of it. I think I partly miss the dancing. I used to do a lot of dancing if I was out. I didn't drink alcohol, but I did used to dance, which was my version of almost getting drunk on atmosphere. And I think definitely, because I love music as well, when I was dancing and other people were dancing, you know, like even if you're like, not so much at festivals, but there's like a collective buzz when that beat kicks in or whatever it was, and I always used to feel we were all in it together. Everybody on the dance floor is your best friend, you know. It's like being a drunk person. I love you. I love you. I love all of you. I had that feeling. And it was like as high as anything. And I never wanted it to end. And it's quite hard to get that feeling when I think I told you, I did dance at a friend's wedding about a year or two ago. That was a sobering experience. Yeah, didn't feel like it used to. Actually, yes, we will take the reversal, actually. Were you in reverse or not? I don't know. Anybody had a similar experience? Let me know. So many mixed up feelings. Also, I'm watching a documentary on Kylie Minogue, which is on Netflix, and it's very good. I don't really have any feelings either way on Kylie Minogue, if you know what I mean. Except that I do think it's deceptively difficult to do what she does. A lot of people do jump on, if somebody seems like the girl next door is what they always call it. You know, it's very hard to be the girl next door that well, and to show up for the performances and to always show up. So I have a lot of admiration for her as like a businesswoman and stuff, really. But it's just a really interesting documentary, so I'm going to recommend that to you. Anyway, this might have been in reverse in the beginning, but I can't quite remember. But let's just take that energy of reverse, but can't quite remember type energy. And we have the Hanged Man, and it's a mermaid, so it's not really a man, but the Hanged Mermaid doesn't really, it all sounds like a really bad pub, doesn't it? So, you know, it's like this, but kind of reaching for light. So a little bit like a bulb, you know when you plant your bulbs and they just look like dead onions, and then somewhere in the dim recesses of December some magic happens and they start reaching for that weak light that there is. They're like, that's my bulb. Remember at school having to do that? Pretend to be an acorn growing into a tree. I used to get so pissed off. But now here I am. Who knew? Who knew how those transferable skills would work out? So we have that straight into this dude here. How are you doing? The Emperor, Poseidon, you know, woof. But the Emperor is when we're like taking up residence in the main character energy of our lives. So there's a call here. There's a call to the light. There's a call to take up the energy. There's a call to be the CEO, or, you know, you don't have to get all the way there. But certainly take charge. There's a call to take charge of something. And we are in Leo season and we are in eclipse season, and there's a lot of take charge type energy knocking around. Okay. We've got the Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse is sometimes it's not the time to be concentrating on conventional wisdom. So it may have been the way that you ought to do it, or, you know, that you were brought up to do it, or a million other different versions of that. But there's a certain daring to be different, daring to be... I'll just show you the cards, by the way. I keep feeling like I'm showing you the cards because I'm looking at them. But I'm not, am I? So now I am. Right, let's just whack you there. Yeah. Let's just do this. And that. Tacked on the end there. Yeah, so this is defying conventional wisdom, doing it your own way, reaching for the light, taking charge, and, you know, it's not like there's no F's given. It's like you may have considered the ways of doing it, but you reject them. A bit like artists do when they know the rules of art. They go to art school, they learn how to draw. They learn the proportions, they learn all the classic stuff or whatever. Or chefs, you know, when you learn your classic French cuisine or whatever it is. And then now that you know it, you want to disrupt it. And sometimes that's just the height of creativity. And we have the Four of Wands here, which is a portal. And when you get a portal like the Four of Wands, it's just an opportunity to do that. And it's kind of luck. And I like it. And you don't know where this is coming from, but it's the light that you are pursuing here. You get to see here. Aha. I know. And then we have the Eight of Cups. This has not been knocking around as much as it was in July. In July it was like 8 of Cups every 5 minutes. But it's still there, and we also, this thing on the end, Judgment in reverse, oof. Judgment in reverse is a very particular card, so this won't be for all of you, and this might just be in a particular situation. Where if something, this is often a relationship, if something is kind of hanging on by a thread of nostalgia, you need to take up residence as the main character energy and probably let that go. That will be different for different people, but nevertheless, that notwithstanding, it's probably a good idea to let that go. But when you take up residence as the Emperor, you tend to do that sort of stuff anyway. So there you have it. Interesting reading. Leave me a comment and I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.